The morning light at 7 o'clock struggled to pierce through the endless river of people at Shinjuku Station. It was a sea of dark suits, flowing forward with a determined, relentless rhythm, almost like a scene from a Ghibli film. The air hummed with the ding-dong of departure bells and the murmur of thousands of footsteps. I stood right in the middle of it all, a young man named Hari, feeling completely lost. My eyes were glued to a massive, complicated map of colored lines that looked like a tangled web. I was exhausted, and my knuckles were white from gripping the heavy suitcase I'd dragged all the way from my home in Tamil Nadu. My gaze shifted to the ticket machine. It felt like an alien artifact, its screen flashing with Japanese kanji I couldn't understand. Back home, I knew every street, every shortcut. Here, I didn't even know how to buy a simple train ticket. I took a deep breath and pressed a button. A loud, angry beep echoed from the machine, and I could feel the impatient sighs of the people lining up behind me. I felt my face flush with embarrassment. I just wanted to disappear. My hand trembled as I tried again and again, the same infuriating beep. Just as I was about to give up, a shadow fell over the machine. A soft, calm voice asked, "Need some help?" I turned, and there she was, a woman with a kind, bright smile, wrapped in a simple beige trench coat. The harsh station lights seemed to soften around her, giving her a gentle, almost magical glow. Her name was Sakura. Without a word, she reached past me and quickly pressed 3 buttons. The machine whirred to life and spat out a small paper ticket. She picked it up, her fingers brushing against mine for a fleeting second as she handed it to me. I felt a strange jolt of energy, a warmth that spread through my hand. "Arigato, thank you," I stammered, a clumsy mix of broken Japanese and English. She let out a soft, musical giggle. "You're welcome. Good luck with your first day." She gave a slight bow, and then, just as quickly as she appeared, she vanished back into the flowing river of people. I stared at the ticket in my palm. It felt less like paper and more like a golden key. A moment later, I was on the train, the doors closing behind me with a gentle hiss, carrying me toward a new world. As the train sliced through the Tokyo skyline, I watched the rising sun paint the skyscrapers in hues of orange and gold. The city was a fascinating paradox, with traditional wooden houses nestled between giant, modern glass buildings. My stop was one of those glass giants, Neotech Systems. The lobby was silent, polished, and smelled faintly of floor wax and fresh coffee. Soon, I was standing at my new desk, a small sign proudly announcing, "Hari, QA Test Engineer." I carefully placed a small wooden statue of my Lord Ganesha next to my monitor, a little piece of home in this vast, new place. My manager began the office tour. "This is the development team," he explained, gesturing towards a row of desks. "You will be testing their code." I followed his gaze and then froze. My heart began to race. Sitting at the lead desk, her face focused intently on a screen, was her. Sakura! "It's her," I whispered to myself, unable to believe it. Just then, she looked up from her keyboard, and her eyes widened in surprise when she saw me. She stood up and bowed politely. "Oh, the traveler from the station." The entire office turned to look at us. I felt my cheeks burn a deep red. "I'm Sakura, the lead developer," she said, her voice as calm as it was at the station. I didn't know you were our new tester. I tried to bow back, but in my flustered state, I misjudged the distance and bumped my head on the corner of my desk with a loud clunk. For a tense second, the office was completely silent. Then, Sakura laughed a warm, genuine sound that instantly broke the tension. She handed me a document. "Let's work hard together, Hari-kun," she said with a smile. I looked down at the paper. It was a list of bugs to be tested. As I sat at my desk, watching her return to her work, I had a feeling my life in Japan had just become very, very interesting. The next few weeks fell into a rhythm. At lunchtime, the office would grow quiet. I'd sit alone, opening my container of instant ramen, fumbling awkwardly with the chopsticks that kept slipping through my fingers. One day, Sakura walked past with her lunch and paused. "Need another lesson?" she asked with a playful smile. She sat across from me and patiently showed me how to hold the sticks, her hand guiding mine. I felt that same warmth again. "In India, we use our hands," I explained in broken Japanese, aided by a translation app on my phone. She smiled. "I'd like to try Indian food one day. Is it very spicy?" That first lunch turned into a daily routine. We'd spend the hour talking, her speaking slowly, and me relying on my app. A silent understanding grew between us during work hours. It was a series of small nods and shared glances across the office, me testing the code, her writing it. The days bled into evenings, the sky outside turning a soft, hazy violet as the office lights flickered on. Often, by 8 o'clock, it was just the two of us left, the sound of our keyboards clicking in a steady, shared rhythm. When she'd finally stretch and pack her bag, she'd always say, "Good night, heart," before walking to the elevator. And every night, I'd watch her go, feeling a crush blooming in my chest like a slow-growing flower. My walk home took me through the vibrant streets of Shinjuku, where neon signs reflected like watercolors in the puddles on the pavement. The air was a mix of savory yakitori smoke and the faint sound of jazz music drifting from a nearby bar. My small apartment was clean and quiet, almost too quiet. I'd call my mother back in Tamil Nadu, India. "Ma, the work is good," I'd tell her. "The people are kind." But after hanging up, I'd stare out my window at the Tokyo Tower glowing red against the dark sky. A beautiful but lonely sight. I'd spent hours with a Japanese textbook practicing phrases. "Watashi wa Hari desu." That means I'm Hari. I Sakura-san. I'd stop and sigh, resting my head on the book. Sometimes I'd take out a sketchbook and draw my pencil, tracing the simple shape of a train ticket. The city would fall perfectly still in the deep hours of the night. Then, at 6:30 in the morning, my alarm would go off and the routine would begin all over again. Shower, coffee, a quick walk back to the same station. As I approached the platform, I would always glance at the ticket machine where we first met, and a small smile would find its way to my lips. One morning, I saw her on the opposite platform, looking up at the sky. A gentle summer breeze swept through the station, ruffling our hair at the exact same moment. Our eyes met across the tracks. No words were exchanged. None were needed. There was just a quiet, shared smile that spoke volumes, a silent acknowledgement of the connection that had started with a single ticket and was now weaving our two different worlds together, creating one heart. The Neotech Systems office lobby buzzed with the rhythm of a new day. At 8:30 a.m., polished marble reflected the morning rush. A symphony of beeping ID cards and hushed conversations. Hari arrived, adjusting his tie, a learned Japanese pocketbook clutched in his hand. In the solitude of the high-speed elevator, he practiced a bow in the mirror. It was a little stiff, but his effort was sincere. Upstairs, the office floor was a sea of blue light from hundreds of monitors. Sakura was already a blur of motion at her desk, her fingers dancing across the keyboard. A small green plant sat beside a photo of the Tokyo skyline, a quiet testament to her roots. As Hari walked past, he gathered his courage. Ohayou gozaimasu, Sakura-san. Sakura looked up, a smile gracing her lips as she pushed her glasses up her nose. Ohayou Harakun, ready to break my code today? Hari laughed nervously. I hope not, but I have to find the bugs. He settled at his desk and opened a spreadsheet. Test case 102. User login. He ran the test. A stark red error message flashed across his screen. Error system crash. He bit his lip. It was a big one. He had to tell her, a mix of professional duty and the nervous flutter of his crush making his heart pound. He walked over to her desk. Sakura, I found something. A big bug. Her face turned serious. She stared at his screen, and the lively office hum seemed to fade into a tense silence. A fly landing on a coffee cup was the only movement. Then, Sakura sighed, a twinkle returning to her eye. Nice catch, Detective Hari. She opened a new window of code. Let's fix it together before lunch. A sunbeam finally found its way to their desks, illuminating the space between them. Side by side, the tester and the developer, their heads close together, lit by the glow of the screen. In that shared light, a small dust mote danced, a tiny, almost magical detail in their high-tech world. Lunchtime brought them to the rooftop garden, a lush escape overlooking the sprawling city. The wind whistled between skyscrapers as they sat on a wooden bench. Sakura opened her bento box, revealing perfectly arranged rice and fish. Hari unwrapped his simple vegetable wrap and a small container of a crunchy snack from his home in Tamil Nadu, India. What is that? Sakura asked, pointing at the snack. Hari offered her some. It's from my home. It's spicy. She took a small, curious bite. Her eyes went wide. Whoa! It's like a firework in my mouth. They both laughed. The invisible wall between the new guy and the lead dev crumbling away. Sakura then took out a notebook. You said you're struggling with Japanese. Let's practice business kigo. She pointed to her coffee. In a meeting, don't just say tea. Seiyo kadaburyu o itadakimasu. Hari repeated the words, his accent bringing a gentle smile to her face. As he focused on her every word, his eyes reflected the bright blue Tokyo sky. A group of sparrows landed nearby, hoping for a crumb of Maruku Sakura gazed at the horizon. Tokyo is a lonely place if you don't have someone to talk to. I'm glad you're here, Hari. A warmth spread through Hari's chest. I felt lonely too, until the ticket machine. They looked at each other, and in that shared glance, it was clear the crush was no longer just his. The wind ruffled Sakura's hair across her face. Hari almost reached out to move it, but stopped himself. his hand hovering for a moment in the air. The sun slipped behind a cloud, bathing the rooftop in a soft, misty blue as they sat in comfortable silence, a welcome pause in their busy lives. Back in the office, the afternoon sun cast long shadows across the floor. The frantic sound of typing filled the air. Their manager, Sato-san, hurried past, his face etched with stress. Sakura? The client wants the update by Friday. Sakura's shoulders tensed, but she nodded quickly. I understand, sir. From his desk, Hari saw the pressure mounting on her. He sent a quick chat message. Don't forget to breathe. You're doing great. Sakura saw the message pop up. She glanced toward Hari and gave a tiny, grateful nod. The hours ticked by. A cup of cold coffee sat untouched on Hari's desk as he worked through a long list of test cases. By 6 p.m., the office had emptied, the chorus of goodbye bows echoing through the now quiet space. Only 2 lights remained on, one over Hari's desk and one over Sakura's. He was determined to find every last bug for her. Outside, the city began to transform into a neon wonderland of red, green, and gold. Finally, Sakura stood up and walked over to his desk. It's late. Let's finish the rest tomorrow. I wanted to make sure your code was perfect, Hari said quietly. Sakura looked at him, her expression soft. It already feels perfect when you're testing it. They walked together through the blindingly bright neon labyrinth of Shinjuku. The air was thick with the smell of grilled yakitori and the sound of a street musician's violin. Soon, they arrived at the station entrance, the very same place where they had first met. Hari stopped at the ticket machine and smiled at it. I know how to use it now, he told her. Sakura giggled. I'm a little sad. You don't need my help anymore. Hari looked at her, his voice suddenly serious. I think I will always need your help, Sakura-san. A train thundered past on the bridge above them, its roar filling the momentary silence. Their shadows stretched towards each other on the ground, almost touching. They walked to the platform where the night train waited. Good night, Hari-kun. See you tomorrow. She stepped onto the train, and he remained on the platform. The train pulled away, a streak of yellow light disappearing into the dark. In the distance, the Tokyo Tower glowed like a giant candle. Back in his small room, Hari opened his Japanese book. He wrote a new word in his notebook, Kizuna connection, bond. He ate the last piece of the spicy tastes, a familiar reminder of his 2 worlds. Lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, his thoughts were no longer on bugs or code, but on the connection he had found. Shinjuku at 7 p.m. The sky is a deep electric blue, and the neon signs are reflecting in the rain-slicked streets. The rhythmic clack-clack of the overhead train and the muffled sound of city jazz. Hari and Sakura walking out of the Neotech office building. Hari looks exhausted but happy. A red paper lantern swaying in the wind outside a narrow alleyway. Hari-kun, you worked hard today. Are you hungry? Sakura asks, adjusting her scarf. Hari's stomach lets out a loud growl. He blushes and rubs his neck. Ha! Very hungry. Sakura points to a small, glowing shop with a blue curtain, Ramen Ichiraku. They enter. The shop is tiny, warm, and smells of rich pork broth and garlic. Steam rising from the open kitchen. making the chef's face look blurry and magical. They sit at the wooden counter. The wood is dark and polished by years of use. A menu with hand-drawn pictures of different ramen bowls. Sakura orders for both of them in fast, fluent Japanese. Hari listens in 2 glasses of ice water placed on the counter. Condensation dripping down the glass. Hari looks at the other customers. Everyone is eating with intense focus. Outside, a light drizzle starts to fall, blurring the neon lights into glowing circles of color. The chef, throwing a bundle of fresh noodles into a giant boiling pot. Splash Sakura, taking off her coat, revealing a soft lavender sweater. The warm, golden glow of the shop protecting them from the cold city night. 2 massive ceramic bowls are placed in front of them, Ghibli food style. The ramen is a masterpiece. Creamy broth, a perfectly soft-boiled egg, and bright green onions. Sakura claps her hands. Itadakimasu? Hari follows her, his voice low and sincere. Hari picks up the wooden chopsticks. He looks like he's holding a pair of dangerous weapons. He tries to pick up a noodle, but it slips and splashes back into the soup. A drop of broth lands on Hari's cheek. He looks defeated. Sakura giggles and hands him a napkin. Take your time. It's a skill, not a race. She gently moves his fingers on the sticks, showing him the pivot point, her hand over his. The contrast of his tan skin and her pale, soft hand. Hari's heart does a somersault. He forgets about the hunger for a second. He finally catches a noodle and takes a long slurp. Schloop! The explosion of flavor in his eyes. He looks like he's discovered a new planet. This is like the sambar my mother makes, but different. It's so deep. Sakura leans in. Sambar. Tell me about the spices of Tamil Nadu, India. He starts with the fiery heat of Ramnad's red chilies, painting a picture of the vibrant red color and the sharp, intense flavor that forms the base of so many dishes. Sakura's eyes widen slightly, and she fans her mouth playfully. Wow, that sounds intense. I'm not sure I'm brave enough for that kind of heat, she says with a nervous laugh. Then he describes the earthy, golden turmeric from Erode, explaining how it's not just for color, but for a warm, slightly bitter taste, and its healing properties, a remedy for colds his grandmother would use. He mimes the act of crushing fresh curry leaves between his fingers, describing their unique aromatic scent that fills the air when tempered in hot oil, a sound and smell that means a meal is almost ready. Finally, he speaks of Ramnad red chili masala, not a single spice, but a symphony of many cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, cumin, and pepper, all roasted and ground together. He explains it's the heart of the dish, the secret that makes every family's sambar unique in Tamil Nadu, India. Sakura looks thoughtful. So the secret isn't just one spice, but how you bring them all together. That's beautiful. It's like a family's story in a flavor. As he speaks, his Japanese becomes more fluid. He is talking from his heart, a close-up of the ramen egg, the yolk, looking like a liquid sunset. A small cat sits outside the shop window, watching the steam fog the glass. They finish their meal. The bowls are empty. Only a sense of deep satisfaction remains. Hari and Sakura sharing a look of pure, comfortable friendship. Walking along the Shinjuku Canal, the water reflects the green and red city lights. The rain has stopped, leaving the air smelling of wet stone and ozone. They stop at a stone railing. The Tokyo Tower is a distant red needle in the sky. Do you miss India, Hari-kun? Sakura asks, looking at the dark water. Hari looks at the moon. Sometimes, especially the noise, but here I found a different kind of music. Sakura looks at him curiously. What music? The sound of the trains, the silence of the library, and your voice, Hari says, then immediately regrets it. Sakura's eyes go wide. She looks away, her cheeks turning the color of a cherry blossom. A single petal from a nearby flower falls into the canal and drifts away. Hari's hand on the cold stone railing, trembling slightly. Sakura takes a small keychain from her bag, a little felt elephant. I bought this years ago. I always wanted to go to India. Maybe it was a sign. She hands it to him, a gift to make your desk less lonely. Hari takes it, his fingers brushing hers. The crush is now a heavy, beautiful weight. A shooting star reflects in the canal for a split second. They both look at each other, the light from the shooting star still lingering in their eyes. For a moment, the bustling city around them fades into a soft hum. Hari clears his throat, his voice barely a whisper. When you see a shooting star, you make a wish. But I think mine just came true. Sakura's heart flutters. She looks down at the water, a shy smile playing on her lips. What did you wish for, Hari-kun? He looks at her, his gaze soft and full of unspoken emotions, to not feel so alone anymore. His honesty hangs in the air between them, more beautiful than the city lights. Sakura gently places her hand on his, still resting on the railing. You are not alone, Hari-kun. The touch is light, but it sends an electric current through them both. They continue walking toward the station, their pace slower than before. The city feels softer now, more welcoming. The sound of a distant street performer playing a flute, their shadows on the ground, walking closer together than they did this morning. The station turnstiles beep beep. The world of work and home calls them back. Hari's small apartment. The window is open to the night breeze. He places the felt elephant on his desk next to the Ganesha statue. He opens the wooden box under his bed. He adds the ramen ichiraku napkin to his collection of treasures. He takes out his sketchbook and draws the ramen bowl, but he adds 2 pairs of hands holding the sticks. Sakura in her room, looking at a photo of a spicy curry on her computer. She is smiling. She touches the star charm on her pen, thinking of the elephant she gave away. Wide shot of the Tokyo skyline at 1 a.m. The moon hanging perfectly between 2 skyscrapers. Hari lies down, the yellow station ticket from EP1 still on his nightstand. 2 worlds, he whispers to the dark room. 1 heart. The rhythmic, distant sound of the city breathing. Close-up of the felt elephant's trunk, looking soft in the lamplight. The first hint of dawn appearing on the edge of the sky. The Neotech office at 4 p.m. The bright blue sky from the morning has turned into a heavy, metallic gray. The low, steady hum of the air conditioner and the rhythmic tapping of keyboards. Hari is staring at a Japanese keyboard, his face full of concentration. He is trying to type a bug report in Japanese. System error. Unexpected result. He sighs and rubs his eyes. The kanji characters look like complex puzzles to him today. Sakura walks by and pauses at his desk. She notices his screen. She leans over, her scent like light, jasmine filling his space. You almost had it, Hari. Just change this character to Keiko result. Sakura's finger pointing to the screen. Her star charm pen is clipped to her ID lanyard, the silver star dangling slightly as she moves. Hari blushes. Thank you, Sakura-san. Sometimes the words just hide from me. Sakura smiles. In Tokyo, even the clouds are hiding the sun today. It's going to be a big storm. A sudden, bright flash of lightning illuminates the office for a split second. A low, roll-in rumble of thunder. Grumble boom. A single raindrop hitting the office window. Splat. Everyone in the office stops working for a second, looking at the glass. Suddenly, the clouds open. A wall of silver rain washes over the Shinjuku skyscrapers, the city below disappearing into a thick, white mist. 6 p.m. The leave office chime rings. Ding dong ding. Hari realizes his umbrella is sitting on his porch at home. He looks defeated. He packs his bag slowly. He prepares to run to the station and get soap. Hari standing at the glass doors of the lobby, watching the torrential downpour. The entrance of the office building. Thousands of people are opening colorful umbrellas, the roar of the rain hitting the pavement. Pater pater shush. Hari takes a deep breath and prepares to run. A shadow falls over him. A clear plastic umbrella is held over his head. It's Sakura. She is holding the umbrella with both hands. You're going to catch a cold, Hari-kun. Hari stammers, I forgot mine. It's okay. I can run. Sakura shakes her head. We're going to the same station. Let's walk together. The two of them stepping out into the rain under one umbrella. Their shoulders are almost touching. Hari is walking very stiffly, afraid to bump into her. The neon signs of Shinjuku reflecting in the growing puddles blue, red, and yellow. The rhythmic tink, tink, tink of rain hitting the plastic umbrella. Harisu's hand reaching up to help Sakura hold the heavy umbrella steady. In my home, we love the rain, Hari says, his voice low, but it's warmer than this. Sakura looks at him through the mist. Does it make you feel better or worse? Hari looks at the rain. Better, because it feels like the whole world is taking a bath. Sakura laughs a sound that is clearer than the rain. I like that. A bath for the city. A car passes by, splashing a puddle. Hari moves quickly to block the water from hitting. Sakura looks at Hari's wet shoulder. Her eyes soften. Thank you, Hari. A group of blue hydrangeas, Ajacai glowing intensely under the rainy sky. Two small figures under one clear umbrella, surrounded by silver rain and neon lights. They reach the Shinjuku Canal. The water is churning and dark. They stop for a moment. The station is just across the bridge. Hari wants to tell her how much he appreciates her. He searches for the Japanese words. Sakura-san, watashi w e. He stops. He can't find the word for peace or happiness. Sakura waits, looking at him. The raindrops are catching the light on her eyelashes. Hari gives up on the words. He just points to the rain and then to his heart. Sakura nods slowly. She understands. Me too. Harikun. The wind picks up, blowing the rain toward them. They huddle closer together. For a few seconds, the two worlds are gone. There is only the rain and the umbrella, a single raindrop falling from the edge of the umbrella, reflecting both their faces. They walk across the old red bridge toward the station entrance. The station looks like a glowing lighthouse in the middle of a gray ocean. They reach the dry area of the station. Sakura closes the umbrella. Foom! A few last drops of water fly off the umbrella and sparkle like stars. They stand there for a second, the sudden silence of the station feeling strange. Sakura checks her phone. The trains are delayed because of the wind. We might have to wait. It's okay, Hari says, giving her a real smile. I'm not in a hurry. They sit on a wooden bench inside the station, watching the people rush past. Hari notices the felt elephant keychain he got in EP3 is hanging from his bag. The two of them sitting side by side, the distance between them getting smaller. The platform, the night train finally pulls in with a heavy hiss. See you tomorrow. Sakura-san, Hari says, bowing a little more naturally now. Sakura waves. And get home and take a hot bath. Don't forget, Sakura says. She disappears into the train. Hari watches the doors close. Hari returns to his small apartment. The sound of the rain is still loud outside. He hangs his wet coat. He takes out his wooden box from under the bed. He finds a small wet leaf that got stuck to a sleeve during the walk. He places the leaf inside the box next to the ramen napkin and the felt elephant. He opens his sketchbook. He draws the clear umbrella, but inside it, he draws two glowing hearts. He leans his head against the window, listening to the rain's lullaby, the moon trying to peek through the breaking storm clouds. Close-up of the Ganesha statue on his desk, looking peaceful in the lamplight. 2 a.m. The rain has turned into a gentle mist. The Shinjuku streets are empty and glistening, reflecting the moonlight. Sakura in her room, touching her wet umbrella. She is smiling to herself. Tamil Nadu, she whispers, trying the name of the place she now wants to visit. The star charm on her pen reflecting the moon. The Neotech office at 9 p.m. 90% of the desks are dark. Only one corner is glowing with blue light. The low, rhythmic hum of the building's server room and the distant sound of a night bird. Sakura is hunched over her keyboard, her face pale in the monitor's glow. She is typing frantically. A red error box flashes. Fatal exception. Sakura lets out a long, shaky sigh and rubs her temples. She looks exhausted. Hari walks into the room carrying 2 hot cans of coffee from the vending machine. He sees her frustration and hesitates at the edge of her cubicle. Still not fixed, Hari asks softly. Sakura looks up, her eyes tired. It's a ghost bug, Harakun. I fix 1 line and 3 more break. Hari pulls up a chair. Let me help. 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1. Hari places the warm coffee can on her desk. The metal clinks softly. He opens his laptop and connects it to her monitor. A complex web of code appears, thousands of lines of glowing white text. Outside, the moon is large and silver, hanging perfectly between 2 Shinjuku towers. The 2 of them are sitting close, the only life in the giant, silent office building. Sakura's star charm pen is clipped to her lanyard, catching the light as she leans forward. Wait, Hari says, pointing to a single line. Look at the logic here. Their faces are very close to the screen, reflected in the dark glass. A side view of their workstation. Steam is rising from the coffee cans, the sound of rhythmic typing and mouse clicks. Click. They spend the next hour in deep focus. No talking, just the language of logic. Hari's hand points to a variable. Sakura's hand follows it with the cursor. Sakura stops to take a sip of coffee. She looks at Hari while he is focused on the code. She notices the small Ganesha statue he carries in his bag sitting on the desk. Is that your god? She asks quietly. Hari looks up and smiles. He is the remover of obstacles. I thought we could use his help tonight. Sakura smiles a real, soft smile. I think he's working. They go back to the code. The minutes turn into hours. The city lights below start to dim as Tokyo goes to sleep. A single moth flutters against the office window, attracted to their light. Hari shouts. The memory leak is right here. Sakura's fingers fly over the keys to make the correction. She hits the enter key. The screen stays black for 3 long seconds. Suddenly, a green box appears. Build successful. Sakura throws her hands up in the air. We did it, Hari. We did it. In her excitement, she grabs Hari's hand, closed up of their joined hands. The office is silent. They both realize it at the same time. They don't let go immediately. They are sitting at their desks. The tension finally gone. Sakura looks at Hari, her curiosity growing. Hari-kun, how do you say hello in your language? Tamil. Hari's face lights up with a proud smile. We say Vanakkam. He folds his hands in a traditional greeting. Sakura tries to copy him. She folds her hands. Fa-na-kum. Hari nods. Perfect. And if you want to ask how are you, you say Yepadi iru. Sakura struggles with the long word, her tongue tripping. Yepadi iruke. Hari laughs, gently a warm, kind sound. Very good. You are a fast learner. Sakura-san. Sakura smiling. I want to learn more. It makes me feel closer to your world. A soft blush creeps onto Hari's face. He writes the words in Tamil script on a sticky note and hands it to her. Sakura looks at the beautiful, curvy Tamil letters. She looks at it like it's a treasure. They are standing on the office balcony, breathing in the cold midnight air. The smell of distant rain and the sound of a lone taxi honking below. They are sharing a bag of sweet pretzels. In India, would you be working this late? Sakura asks, looking at the stars. Hari looks at the horizon. Sometimes, but the night feels different there. It's louder, more alive. Sakura looks at him. I used to think being alone in the office was peaceful, but tonight, I liked having you here. Hari's heart does that familiar Ghibli jump. I'm glad I stayed, Sakura-san. I don't like seeing you stressed. A single star shines brighter than the rest, reflected in a puddle on the balcony. Sakura leans her head against the cool metal railing. The project is almost over. What will you do after? Hari looks at her. I think I want to stay in Japan. There's something here I haven't finished yet. Sakura looks up at him. She knows what he means. even if he doesn't say it. A gentle breeze blows through the balcony, carrying the scent of late-blooming lilies. They walk back inside to pack their bags. The office feels warm and safe. Hari places his Ganesha statue back in his bag. Sakura leaves a small sticky note on his monitor. "Thank you, partner." Hari sees the note. He feels like he could fly home. They walk toward the elevator. The ding sounds like a bell in a temple. Walking through the Shinjuku streets at 1 a.m., no crowds, just the neon glow, the sound of their footsteps echoing on the pavement. Clack, tap, clack. They reach the station. The last train is about to leave. The station guard is yawning. The world is in a trance. Sakura stops at the gate. She turns to Hari and gives a small bow. Sakura, smiling, "Fanakam, Hari-kun. See you in a few hours." Hari stands frozen for a second, then beams. "Fanakam, Sakura-san. Sleep well." Sakura boards the train. She sits by the window and waves. The train disappears into the dark tunnel, a tail of red lights. Hari returns to his room. He doesn't open his textbook tonight. He opens his wooden box and places the thank you sticky note inside. He opens his sketchbook and draws a simple picture, Sakura folding her hands in greeting. The moon moves behind a cloud, plunging the Tokyo Tower into a soft blue. Close-up of the sticky note inside the box, the ink looking dark and permanent. Hari lies in bed, his mind full of the feeling of her hand in his. The last rays of the setting sun paint the Tokyo skyline in fiery orange. Cicadas hum their rhythmic song of summer. At a local Shinto shrine, paper lanterns and festive bunting are being strung up, a promise of the evening's celebration. In his small apartment nearby, Hari fumbles with the ties of a jinbai, a traditional summer kimono. It feels foreign, unfamiliar. His eyes drift to a photo on his wall himself, smiling, dressed in a comfortable Tamil vesti and shirt. He looks back at his reflection in the mirror, a sticky note from Sakura pinned to its corner catching his eye. "Thank you, partner," it reads. A small smile plays on his lips. Meanwhile, Sakura is at her home. Sakura is also getting ready. She carefully pins a small white lily into her hair. Hari's favorite scent. Dressed in a delicate floral yukata, she studies her reflection. The soft fabric and elegant pattern make her look like she stepped out of a classic painting. The humid evening air feels warm against Hari's skin as he walks toward the shrine. The world is alive with anticipation. He arrives at the Great Red Torii Gate, a beacon marking the entrance to another world. He stands there, a little lost in the sea of colorful kimonos and joyful chatter. Then, through the crowd, he sees her. Bathed in the soft, warm light of the paper lanterns, Sakura seems to glow, possessing a magical, almost ethereal quality. Hari's breath catches in his throat. He can only manage a whisper. "Sakura-san, you look wonderful." A blush colors her cheeks, and she hides her smile behind a small paper fan. "You look very natural in a jinbai, Hariko." Then she leans in just a little, her voice a soft murmur. "Vanakkam," she says, using the Tamil greeting he had taught her during one of their late-night language lessons. Hari's heart skips a beat. The single word closes the vast distance between their worlds in an instant. He brings his hands together in the traditional gesture. "Vanakkam, Sakura-san," in that moment with the festival lights dancing in their eyes. The gap between their cultures feels smaller than ever before. Side by side, they walk into the festival grounds. A warm summer breeze drifts by, carrying the sweet scent of incense and the savory aroma of grilled corn. A child runs past, clutching a balloon, their laughter echoing in the perfect evening air. The festival stalls, known as yatai, glow with a warm yellow light. Smoke billows from grills, and the air is thick with delicious smells. In the distance, the powerful, rhythmic beat of a taco drum starts up, setting a pulse for the night. They find themselves drawn to a kinyosukui stall, a game of scooping goldfish. Hari takes a paper net, confident, but the moment it touches the water, it breaks. Sakura giggles softly, then takes a net herself. With a single, graceful swoop of her wrist, she catches a bright orange goldfish. She hands the small plastic bag to Hari. "A souvenir for tonight," she says, her eyes sparkling. Hari looks down at the tiny fish swimming in its little world. "In my village," he says quietly, "we have big ponds. I used to watch the fish for hours." Sakura's curiosity is piqued. "Tell me about your festivals, Hari-kun. Are they like this?" As they stroll through the lively crowd, sharing freshly grilled food, Hari begins to describe the festival of Pongal. He paints a picture of the vibrant colors of Tamil Nadu, the intricate decorations, and the spirit of harvest and gratitude. For a moment, it feels as if a vision of a colorful Tamil temple is superimposed over the Japanese lanterns, a beautiful fusion of their two worlds. They stop at a stall selling spicy grilled squid. Always up for a challenge, Hari orders one with extra chili. He takes a bite, savoring the heat. Sakura, intrigued, tries a tiny piece. Her eyes go wide, and she immediately starts fanning her tongue. "Hot. Too hot," she exclaims, her face flushed. Hari laughs, handing her his ice-cold Ramoon soda. As she reaches for it, their hands touch, both gripping the cold, beaded glass bottle. Condensation drips from the bottle onto their joined fingers. A small, intimate moment amidst the festival's joyful chaos. Seeking a moment of peace, they move away from the loud music toward the temple's quieter prayer area. Fireflies blink like tiny stars in the dark trees above them, and the festival sounds soften to a distant, pleasant hum. They arrive at a stand filled with small wooden plaques for writing wishes. Hundreds of them hang together, clinking softly in the breeze. Sakura picks up a wooden plaque and a pen, handing them to Hari. "Write a wish, Hari-kun." He looks at her, his heart full. Then he turns to the plaque and begins to write, his pen forming the elegant curves of Tamil script. He writes from the heart, "I want to stay by her side." Meanwhile, Sakura writes her own wish in Japanese, carefully shielding the words with her hand. "What did you write?" Hari asks, his Japanese still a little broken. Sakura smiles, a secret in her eyes. "If I tell you, the gods won't listen. But it's a happy wish." They hang their plaques next to each other, the two small boards touching gently. The two boards touching the Tamil script and Japanese kanji side by side, a silent symbol of their connection. They move to stand before the main shrine. Together, they bow twice, clap twice, and then close their eyes to pray. In the silence of his mind, Hari pleads, "Please, let me find the words to tell her how I feel." And in hers, Sakura wishes, please, let this time with him never end. They open their eyes at the exact same moment, their gazes locking. The air grows thick with unspoken feelings, with words lingering on the tips of their tongues. Hari leans in, just slightly, the space between them shrinking. Suddenly, a loud whistle pierces the night. The first firework explodes high above, a massive, glittering flower of gold against the black canvas of the sky. The fireworks, Sakura cries out, her voice filled with delight. She grabs his sleeve, pulling him along. Let's go. We need a better view. They run, their silhouettes darting through the trees, chasing the light. They find a spot on the grassy riverbank, joining the hundreds of others who have gathered to watch the spectacle. Massive fireworks, Hanabi burst overhead in breathtaking patterns of blue, red, and silver. Each explosion is a thunderous boom that vibrates right through their chests. They sit on the grass, so close their shoulders are touching. The brilliant light of the fireworks reflects in Sakura's eyes, making her look even more like a dream. Hari isn't looking at the sky anymore. He's looking at her, gathering all his courage. He speaks, his heart, his voice low, in his own language. Nan anai kadali kiron, he says. I love you. The sound of the fireworks is deafening. Sakura turns to him, her expression questioning. What did you say, Hari-kun? She shouts over the booming explosions. Hari's heart hammers against his ribs. The moment is here, but his courage fails him. He looks at her, a nervous smile on his face. I said, the fireworks are beautiful. Sakura smiles back, but a flicker of sadness crosses her eyes. She knows he said something more. Instead of pressing him, she gently leans her head against his shoulder. Yes, she agrees softly. Beautiful. Just then, a final, massive firework explodes. A brilliant starburst of white light that illuminates the entire scene, turning night into day for 3 breathtaking seconds. In that pure, white light, they look perfect together, a portrait of quiet happiness. As the light fades, the screen slowly pans away from the couple on the riverbank. The warm, festive colors dissolve, replaced by the cold, blue light of a modern office. A man, Kaito, sits at a sleek desk. Looking at a document on his screen titled Collaborative Project. 2 names are now locked together on a single screen. Lead developer, Sakura. Lead consultant, Kaito. Hari in his small, warm room. He sits at his desk, looking at the festival's goldfish. A sudden notification breaks the silence. A message from Neotech HR that will change everything. The Neotech logo is visible, and next to it, Sakura's name is listed as the lead developer, Kaito, new lead consultant for the 3-month integration project. Kaito smirks, adjusting his expensive watch. He glances at a photo on his desk, a picture of him and Sakura from their university days. The piece is about to break. Shinjuku Station at 7:30 a.m. The sky is a pale, cool blue. The humidity of the festival has turned into a crisp morning. Hari is standing on the platform, looking at his phone. He is looking at a photo from the festival, a blurry shot of Sakura smiling under the fireworks. He takes a long, deep breath and puts his phone into his pocket, watching the train pull in. He boards the train, his face looking peaceful, still holding onto the warmth of the previous night. He arrives at the office. He sees Sakura already at her desk. Sakura-san, vanakum. Hari says, with a bright smile. Sakura looks up. She looks a bit tired but smiles back warmly. Vanakam, Hari. Did you sleep well? On her desk is the sticky note Hari wrote in Tamil from episode 5. She has kept it near her keyboard. The office is unusually busy. Extra desks and monitors are being set up in the center. The project manager stands up. Attention, everyone. Today marks a big step for our firm. Our 3-month collaboration with a global consulting firm begins now. Please welcome their lead project consultant. The heavy glass doors slide open with a hiss. Kaito, 20s, walks in. He wears a sharp, charcoal gray suit and a designer watch. He carries a high-end laptop bag and moves with effortless, polished confidence. Kaito bows to the group. Good morning. I am Kaito. I'll be leading the project integration for the next 90 days. Kato's eyes scan the room and stop on Sakura. His professional face melts into a wide, charming grin. The development team gathered around Kato's new workstation. Sakura is La Finga lights, familiar sound that makes Hari stop in his tracks. Sakura, Kaito, I can't believe it. I heard you were working in the UK. Hari stands at the edge of the circle, his hands in his pockets. He feels the foreigner barrier rising again. Kaito begins explaining the project roadmap in fluent, fast-paced English. The Japanese staff look impressed. Sakura nods, responding in English with a level of fluency Hari didn't know she had. Internal thought, Hari, they have a history. They have a language. I can't speak well yet. The manager introduces Hari. Kato-san, this is Hari, our test engineer from Tamil Nadu, India. Kaito looks at Hari. Instead of a bow, he offers a firm, Western-style handshake. Kaito in English, nice to meet you, Hari. I've worked with many Indian devs in London. Hope your testing is as fast as the schedule requires. Hari shakes his hand. Kaito's grip is dominant. Hari feels like a junior, not a partner. Lunchtime, Hari sits at his desk with his usual ramen. Through the glass partition, he sees Kaito and Sakura walking out to a high-end cafe together. Kaito is holding the door open for her, talking animatedly about old times. Hari's plastic chopsticks snapping apart. He stares at the steam rising from his noodles. He opens his sketchbook to draw Sakura, but his hand stops. He looks at the Vanacum sticky note on her desk from a distance. Dark clouds begin to block the sun, making the office lighting look cold and clinical. The rhythmic clicking of keyboards starts to sound like a countdown clock. Kaito returns and places a stack of professional documents directly on top of Sakura's desk. 4 p.m., a high-intensity technical meeting. Kaito is at the glass whiteboard drawing complex system architectures. Kaito, the current test protocols are too slow. We need to automate everything. Sakura will stay late to redo the logic. Sakura looks at Hari, but Hari-kun has been doing the manual testing very carefully. Kaito smiles, a perfectly polite but dismissive expression. Kaito in English, Manuat is for old systems. Sakura, I'll show you the new London standard tonight. We can grab dinner afterward. Hari tries to speak up. I can stay. I want to learn the London standard too. Kaito doesn't even look up from the board. No worries, Hari. This is architectural. Just finish your logs and head home. Sakura looks at Hari with a hint of apology, but she is already being pulled back into the technical discussion by Kaito. Hari begins to pack his bag at 7 p.m. The office is silent except for Kaito and Sakura's voices. He walks past their desks to the elevator. He sees Kaito has placed a large, expensive coffee cup directly on top of the Vanicum sticky note. The note is slightly stained and hidden. Hari presses the elevator button. The ding sounds like a heavy heart. Hari walking alone through the Shinjuku streets. The neon signs look blurry in the mist. The city no longer feels like a Ghibli dream. It feels like a cold, busy machine. He reaches the railway station, the very spot where he first met Sakura. He stands by the map the same way he did in episode 1. He realizes he is still just a stranger in this city. A cold wind whistles through the platform. He sees a couple sharing an umbrella, and he quickly looks at the floor. His train arrives, the doors opening like a silent mouth. 9:30 p.m. The station platform is mostly empty. Hari is waiting for his transfer. He looks across the tracks to the opposite platform. He sees two familiar figures, Kaito and Sakura. They are standing close. Kaito is carrying Sakura's heavy laptop bag for her. Kaito says something, and Sakura laughs a genuine, loud laugh. Kaito reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a small, beautifully wrapped gift box. Kaito, I found this in London and thought of you. Happy to be working with you again. Sakura. Sakura takes the gift, her face lighting up with surprise and joy. Hari's eyes, they look wet and tired. He hides behind a pillar so they don't see him. Internal, thought Hari. He has the history, he has the words. What do I have? Their train arrives. Kaito puts a protective hand on Sakura's back as they enter the carriage. The train doors close. Through the window, they are still talking, oblivious to the world. The train pulls away, leaving a trail of red lights in the dark tunnel. Hari's train arrives. He boards and stands by the door, staring at his own reflection. He looks at the firework photo on his phone one last time. He hits the back button and turns the screen off. The screen goes black. The rain starts to fall again, streaking the train window like tears. The piece is gone. The 90-day project begins. Kaito says, "You're a good tester, Hari, but in Sakura's world, you're just a visitor. Don't get too comfortable." Hari standing alone in the rain outside the office and thinking what Kaito says. The vibrant colors of the Shinjuku festival have faded into the cold, professional tones of a gray, misty morning. Hari walks into the office, his shoulders heavy, his eyes tired. He hasn't slept well. His gaze immediately finds Sakura's desk. A new, expensive designer coffee mug sits there. Gift from Kato. Sakura is already at her desk, deeply focused, while Kaito leans over her shoulder, pointing at something on her screen. Hari walks towards his own workspace, only to find his chair has been pushed aside to make room for Kaito's extra monitor. Without even looking up, Kaito's voice cuts through the quiet hum of the office. "Hari, you're 5 minutes late on this project. Efficiency is everything." Hari offers a slight "Gomen nesai," he murmurs. "I'm sorry." He doesn't say Vanicum today. He glances back at Sakura's desk and sees that his little sticky note, the one that taught her his morning greeting, is now buried under a pile of Kaito's thick technical blueprints. Sakura looks over at Hari, her expression soft, as if she wants to say something, but Kaito interrupts, launching into a rapid stream of English. Sakura, the CEO, loved our university project. We should implement that same logic here. Hari hears the words, and a familiar ache returns. University project. Their shared history. Their world. He opens his testing software, and his screen floods with errors. Errors he now has to fix alone. Lunchtime arrives. Sakura stands up, about to speak to Hari. Hari-kun, do you want to? But Kaito is already on his feet. Sakura, I made a reservation at that Italian place we used to go to. Let's discuss the API there. Sakura hesitates, her eyes flicking between Hari and Kaito. Oh, okay, just for the meeting, she says, her voice lacking its usual warmth. Hari watches them walk out together. He sees Kaito place a light, confident hand on the small of Sakura's back as they disappear through the door. Alone, at his desk, Hari opens his lunchbox. He's brought home-cooked lemon rice, his favorite, but his appetite is gone. Outside, rain begins to streak the office windows, blurring the city into a watercolor wash of gray. His eyes fall on the Vanicum note on Sakura's desk, now stained by a dark coffee ring from Kaito's new mug. By 5 o'clock, the office is buzzing with the intense energy of the 90-day project. Kaito is leading a high-level meeting in the glass-walled conference room. Hari sits at his desk just outside, uninvited. Through the glass, he can see them laughing, animated. It feels like watching a silent movie of his own heartbreak. On the glass wall, Kaito writes in big, bold letters, 90 days to launch. Sakura seems focused, but every few minutes, her gaze darts through the glass, searching for Hari. He turns his attention back to his work and starts his manual testing. It doesn't take long before he finds a critical bug, a flaw in Kaito's own code. He gets up, walks to the conference room, and knocks softly on the glass door. Kaito opens it just an inch. Yes, we are in a high-level meeting. Hari holds his ground. I found error in the login logic. Kaito just smirks, a dismissive, condescending expression on his face. That's legacy logic, Hari. We are replacing that tonight. Don't worry your head about it. And with that, he closes the door, leaving Hari standing alone in the hallway. A surge of frustration tightens Hari's hands into fists at his sides. He turns, walks back to his desk, and begins to pack his bag. He can't stay here, not like this. He carefully takes his small Ganesha statue and places it deep inside his bag before walking past the conference room towards the elevators. Inside, Sakura sees him leaving. Her eyes widen. Ignoring whatever Kaito is saying, she jumps up from her chair and runs out. Hari-kun. Wait, she calls out. But it's too late? The polished steel doors of the elevator slide shut just as she reaches them. She stares at the closed doors, watching the floor number light up, counting down his descent. 10, 9, 8. Later, at 7 o'clock, the chaotic symphony of Shinjuku Station fills the air. The rain drums on the station roof, punctuated by the rhythmic chime of arriving trains. Hari stands by the very same ticket machine where his journey in this city began. He stares at his reflection in the dark screen and sees the same lonely young man who first arrived. Suddenly, he hears running footsteps and a breathless voice calling his name. Hari-kun, it's Sakura. Her hair is damp from the rain, and she's panting slightly. Why did you leave? You didn't even say good work today. Hari turns to face her, his eyes filled with a storm of unspoken emotions. Sakura-san, he begins, his voice a mix of Tamil and English. Kaito-san is your friend. He is your world. I am just a tester. What are you saying? She pleads, her voice cracking. You are my partner. We fixed the midnight bug together. Just then, a shadow falls over them. Kaito has followed her. He walks up, holding Sakura's umbrella and her laptop bag. His voice is cold, dominant. Sakura, you shouldn't run off like that. The CEO is waiting for the final report. He positions himself between them, handing Sakura the umbrella but keeping his sharp gaze fixed on Hari. Listen, Hari, he says in English, his tone leaving no room for argument. Sakura and I have a future to build. Don't make her job harder than it needs to be. Kaito then places a protective, possessive arm around Sakura's shoulder. Sakura looks at Hari, her eyes pleading, begging him to say something, to fight for her, to fight for them. But Hari feels lost. He doesn't have the words in Japanese. He doesn't have the shared history. So he does the only thing he can. He bows a deep, final, formal bow. Good night, Sakura-san. And with that, he turns and walks toward the platform as the train roars into the station. He boards the train without looking back. Through the closing doors, his last glimpse is of Kaito leading Sakura away toward the exit. She's looking over her shoulder, her face a mask of sadness and confusion. Inside the train, Hari presses his forehead against the cold glass of the door. The rain streaks down the window, like tears running across his own reflection. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out the small paper ticket he just bought, gripping it so tightly it crumbles in his fist. He takes out his phone and opens his Tamil to Japanese Notes app. He finds the phrase he'd saved weeks ago, full of hope. Watashi wa Sakura-sen ga suki desu. I like Sakura-sen. He deletes it. Then he starts a new note, typing with fierce determination. 90 days, I will not lose. In that moment, something inside him shifts. The gentle, healing Hari is gone. In his place is someone new, someone determined. Back at the office, Kaito sits at Hari's desk, looking at the code Hari had flagged. As he analyzes it, his confident smile slowly fades. He realizes Hari was right. The bug is real, and it's critical. He glances at the Vanakam note still sitting on Sakura's desk. He picks it up, crumples it slowly in his hand, and throws it into the bin. The final scene settles on Hari, sitting in his dark apartment. He opens an advanced Japanese textbook, the crisp pages illuminated by a single lamp. The only sound is the ticking of a clock on the wall, getting faster and faster. Season 1 has reached its end, but the logic of love and of rivalry truly begins in Season 2. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for what comes next.